You know, I watched a couple of videos by Roland Martin trashing social media people that are on YouTube. And I can honestly say, he has some fucking nerve. Let me explain. This is DJ Wolf Live. Alright, guys. Roland Martin, or Swollen Fartin, as somebody called him. Or, I forgot what he called it. Somebody called him other names too, but nevertheless, noted television host of News One Now, the defunct News One Now, and former CNN contributor and host, put social media on blast, considering the fact that he's on social media now himself. I thought that was a stark contrast. How the hell you gonna put people on social media on blast when you're on social media doing the same thing they're doing now, including myself? I mean, really, dude? First of all, you have a show called Roland Martin's Unfiltered. All right, that's the first thing. The other thing is, you have had a show that was on TV One, and all you did was talk and schmooze. I started schmoozing. Matter of fact, I think just before your show got canceled last year, you did a lot of that. My thing is this. You have never really been a real journalist. I know you work for a newspaper, a major newspaper for years, but you have never been a real journalist from what I've seen over the years. There were journalistic black events that you have never actually covered that you should have been on the ground, with your boots on the ground in the first place. Particularly events that happen out here. TBA happened to point that out because he's right. There were three major events that happened out here that you never showed up for. One of them was Charlottesville. You didn't show down. You didn't show down there at all. You didn't report it down there. Well, you may report it down there, but you didn't show. You wasn't down there for it. You never showed up. There was the event that happened, the protest on Washington against Trump when Trump got elected. You wasn't down there for that. But the one that really tripped me out that you never showed up for, not once, was the protest in Baltimore against the beating death of that young man. I can't, name escapes me, Freddie Gray. And you never showed up for that. Matter of fact, Corinne Gaines, you wasn't there for that either. You know, so really, you didn't show up for a lot of stuff. You actually completely, for lack of a better word, you're a sellout. You didn't show up for any of those issues. You know, I don't even remember seeing you down there talking about Trayvon Martin or Mike Brown. I know you weren't in Ferguson. They sent Don Lemon out there for that. You know, and Don Lemon, truthfully, didn't want to be there himself. You can see that. You can clearly see that. He didn't want no part of it. He truly didn't. But that's another whole story. But my thing is this, Roland. You can't call yourself, can't be taken seriously as a broadcast journalist, and you ain't out there with boots on the ground. All right? I don't recall you ever doing that. Not even when you were with CNN. I do see you schmoozing a lot with a lot of Hollywood heavyweights and stuff like that. I've seen you do that a lot over the years. That's one thing I know for a fact you have done. You know, you like to mix up with the celebrities. You want to live the lifestyle, but you don't want to have your boots on the ground to be the journalist that you claim to be. The name that we're supposed to trust. Okay. And that's, to me, part of my, I see as a cycle of bullshit. You know, the cycle of bullshit that guys like you have created over the years. You know, call yourself one thing, but you're really about something else, you know, which is part of the reason why you TV One now has failed. You know, people didn't want to tune into to your show for bullshit. They want to tune in to see what you're really about in terms of your prowess as a news journalist. Because after all, your show is called News One Now. It was just BS. You just somebody just sat behind a desk for 4 years, didn't do shit. All that mess was going on. You weren't out there interviewing people. You weren't out there trying to find out with boots on the ground what was really going on, and get the inside scoop of what was really happening. You let everybody else scoop your ass. You know, literally in the front line, everybody else is scooping you. You sit there behind the desk. And this was pointed out eloquently about TBA. I give them credit for that. One of the biggest news things that happened in black moments in the movement was the Baltimore riots, and you never was there to cover it. You actually did not go to Baltimore. I should know because I was here, and I didn't see you there one day. Okay, I did 90-minute coverage on it myself on my channel. It's still on my channel 4 years ago, and I got almost 1,000 hits. Where was you at? And I did my shit live, okay? You weren't even you were nowhere near Baltimore, okay? Nowhere near it at all, okay? There were social media people. That's why social media is important. I've said that for years. This is the reason why we need social media. But for you to sit there blasting and you're part of social media because the mainstream media kicked your ass out, and to put social media on blast is complete bullshit. I'm sorry, it's complete bullshit. Complete bullshit. You had no right to do it. You stupid ass. Yeah, Roland Martin or Roland, whatever they call you. You know, to me that's complete bullshit, brother. That's complete bullshit. You sit there and put people on blast on social media because of the stuff that you weren't doing, and you got nerve to attack guys like TBA for actually having boots on the ground and getting work done, and you sit up on your ass. Didn't do anything. You didn't do a damn thing. You ain't do a damn thing for as far as real journalistic coverage. You didn't do nothing. And like I said, you could have took your ass from DC to Baltimore, been up there. It's really about from the studio where you were at to Baltimore is about less than an hour drive. Okay? You never put boots on the ground as far as yourself. You know? All you did was pontificate. You know? And then you go buck dancing with Hillary Clinton. That's another whole story. I won't even get into that yet. The rumor mill right now is that she's talking about running for 2020. I'm sure you're going to jump on that real quick. But for you to sit there and attack social media is the reason why a lot of the issues that normally would never be covered by mainstream media are covered today by social media. And social media that get those coverage out there. If it wasn't for the likes of social media, you wouldn't even hear about the issues, the real issues going on that happened with Eric Gardner, Trayvon Martin, Mike Brown, Jordan Davis, and others. You what? You just wouldn't. Because guys like you, when you were with CNN and TV One, didn't really do the coverage that you should have been doing, and getting the exclusives that you should have been doing, and getting your ass out the studio and put your boots on the fucking ground like you should have. You didn't do any of that. You know? You're just somebody who wants to be famous for nothing. You want to be famous for really not doing much, not putting an effort to the work that you supposed to been trying to do as a journalist. And I'll give TBA full credit for what he did. I've watched 2 of his 3 films, and I plan on getting the other one when it comes out on DVD. All right? TBA did the groundwork that I've never seen you do Roland Martin. And, really, so has Tariq Nasheed. I'm going to give him credit. I've seen some of Hidden Colors, but Tariq has put, stuff in himself as far as doing movies, telling you about history, not just pontificating on it. Okay? He's put boots on the ground. I don't have the resources myself to do it, but you were available to do that through both CNN and TV1, and you didn't do it through either one. Right? This is why you're nothing but a schmoozer. I see you do a lot of that. But to stand behind TBA's statement about you not putting boots on the ground in Baltimore, I know for a fact you didn't do it. You've never done it. You're just a schmoozer. You're just somebody who wants that butter biscuits for 15 minutes of fame. That's all you're about. You ain't about people. You about getting them butter biscuits. And that's all I see from you. I ain't never really see you put the work in like you should have. And until you do, I don't have much else to say. I ran into you a couple of times before. I'm not going to say where, but I ran into you a couple of times. And you seem to be a fairly nice guy, but beyond that, doesn't mean anything about you being nice if you're not doing the work that you claim that you're doing, and you're not really about that life in terms of putting boots on the ground, which you don't do. You're just somebody who's a figurehead at a news organization or whatever, who wants to be noted as a news figurehead and nothing more. That's it. You like the soft shoe stuff, man. That's pretty much it. The only thing I agree with y'all was Umar, because Umar, he's kind of like the Roland Martin of black consciousness, for real. And I'll say that because he is. And I'll leave it at that. But Roland, bro, better leave the boots on the ground to the professionals, because apparently you don't know how to do that and don't know how to do it well. This is DJ Wolf. I'm out.